Number 1, which of these is the product of A plus 2B and C minus D? Remember, product means multiply. So I multiplied those two by using the distributive property. I showed distributing the A with the orange lines. That gave me AC minus AD. Then I needed to distribute the 2B. I showed that with the green lines. 2BC minus 2BD. So the answer was EAC minus AD plus 2BC minus 2BD. Number 2, if A equals negative 2 and B equals 3, then what is the value of the expression 3 times A plus B times A minus B? So I did that by substituting negative 2 for A and 3 for B and working it out with a calculator and got D negative 15. Number 3, this is the graph of which equation? So the first thing I did was I found my y-intercept to be positive 6, so that eliminated choice E. Then I found my rise and my run. My rise was negative 6, and my run was positive 9. So when that reduced that gives me negative 2/3. So my answer is D, negative 2/3 plus 6. Number 4, what is the solution to the equation 2 times x plus 3 minus 3 times x plus 5 equals 13? So what I did was I wrote it out and I tried my different answer choices until I got my answer to be 13. And the answer was A, negative 22. Number 5, if Peggy gets paid a weekly salary of D dollars plus the commission of 8% on her total sales, which expression best describes Peggy's weekly pay? So I've got to take the D dollars and add 8% is 0.8 times S. So the answer is D. Number 6, which of these is the product of D cubed plus 2D squared minus 2D plus 3 and D minus 5? So again, when you multiply, you're going to use the distributive property. I illustrated distributing the D to the third power with the red lines, and that gave me D to the fourth minus 5D to the third. Then I distributed my 2D squared, illustrated with the orange lines, and that gave me 2D to the third minus 10D squared. Next, I distributed the negative 2D, illustrated by the green lines, and that gave me negative 2D squared plus 10D. And finally, I distributed my 3, illustrated with the purple lines, and that gave me 3D minus 15. When I combined my like terms, that gave me D to the fourth minus 3D cubed minus 8D squared plus 13D minus 15. So the answer is B. Number 7, what is the distance from point A to point B? So again, I found my rise and my run. My rise was negative 6 and my run was 7. I used the Pythagorean theorem so I could find the length of the hypotenuse, which was the distance from A to B. And I said 7 squared plus negative 6 squared equals C squared. That gave me 85 equals C squared. So the length of the hypotenuse, or the distance, was the square root of 85. Number 8, a to the negative third, b squared, over a to the fifth, b to the negative fourth. Remember, you don't want to ever have negative exponents. So I took my a to the third and I put it on the denominator. I put my b to the negative fourth in my numerator. And then all you have left to do is add your exponents. So that's how I got b to the 6th over a to the 8th, which the answer was D. Number 9, a to the third, b squared, c squared. Remember, square means to write it twice and multiply. So I wrote it twice. I added my exponents for a and got a to the 6th. I added my exponents for b and got b to the 4th. And I added my understood exponent of 1 and got c squared. So the answer was B. And number 10, for all x, 3 times 2x plus 5 minus 4 times x minus 2 equals 3 times 2x plus 2 equals 1. So I showed distributing the 3 with the orange lines, and that gave me 6x plus 15. I showed distributing my negative 4 with the green lines, and that gave me negative 4x plus 8. I showed distributing the 3 with the purple lines, and that gave me 6x plus 6, and I added my plus 1. Next, I want to combine my like terms on the left side. So if I combine my x's, that gives me 2x, and my constant gives me 23. If I combine my terms on the right, the 6 and the 1, that gives me 7. And then you solve the equation by eliminating the 2x on the left, and that gives you 23 equals 4x plus 7. And then I solve for x by subtracting 7 from both sides. So that gives me 16 equals 4x, and all I have left to do is divide both sides by 4. So that's why the answer is C, x equals 4.